Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Fox and I am so excited that you decided to join me today for another Sims 4 speed building video. So today's video is an exciting one because it is my first renovation on the channel. I don't know if you can actually call this a renovation because I do change this house quite a lot, so I don't know if it's technically a renovation, but I guess I didn't bulldoze the entire build, so we're calling it a renovation. If you're not familiar with this house, it is the Pancakes House. The Pancakes are an iconic family in The Sims 4, so I just got really inspired to renovate their house. I'd seen quite a few renovations like on YouTube before I even started building myself, and this was just one that I always wanted to renovate. So I do change this house quite a lot, as I said, and I have changed the Pancakes storyline a little bit as well. You can download the pancakes from the gallery with their toddler named Iggy. So I've added Iggy into this build hypothetically, and I also made Iggy a girl. I was just feeling like Eliza would be a girl mum for sure, so I made her a girl in this version of the renovation. So there is a kids room and a playroom. I also put Bob and Eliza into the same room. I know their storyline is that they have separate rooms and that they don't really get along, but I mean, I just imagine that they had Iggy and they went to therapy and sorted out whatever issues they had. So in this version, they're just a happy family. It's just what I wanted for them. I think Bob deserves to be happy. And I know a lot of people don't like Eliza, but I just think Bob deserves to be happy. And if he's married to Eliza and they have Iggy and that makes him happy, then I'm happy for him. So talking a little bit about the build, you'll see here that it is white and brick. And I do just want to say that does not stay, but I don't actually show me changing it on camera. I did struggle with the color scheme of this house quite a lot. I originally wanted to do this red and white sort of, I guess, more stark contrasting color scheme because I felt like Eliza's personality is quite bold, so the red is quite bold. But then I kind of went in and had a look again, and I felt like Eliza looks really good in green because of the red hair. So I went for a more green color scheme basically. So you will see that change and all of the landscaping change to match, but I just wanted to include this portion of the build so you guys could see the shape and everything come together because I changed it off camera like last minute. I think that I built this in a couple of sittings, so I think it was in the second sitting I just decided when I opened up my game I didn't like it, so we do change it and I'm much more happy with it. I actually have so many more ideas on like potential renovation styles for this house as well since renovating it. I really want to renovate it again, but I know that it'll be just too soon, but there's a lot of things that I would do differently. I did build this quite some time ago. I think I actually built this house in, I want to say like November. Like I think that's when I did this renovation. So I haven't actually looked over this footage in a while. It has been sitting here in sort of my drafts folder waiting for me to have the opportunity to do the voiceover. So if I'm a little bit off my game today, it's because I just don't remember everything that I did in this build and I'm kind of remembering as we go. It is quite a long video today as well. I think without screenshots it's about 28 minutes long, so it is a longer video, and doing these longer voiceovers is always intimidating, so we're just gonna try and get through it. But I would, yeah, definitely recommend getting a coffee or a snack and sitting back and relaxing on this one, because it is quite long. But as you can see, we are working out the floor plan. I had absolutely no trouble at all with downstairs. That came together, the first floor came together really quickly. Second floor was a little bit of a challenge, as you can see here, but I do end up working it out. So it ends up being, I think it's a three bathroom, three bedroom plus a study, I believe, because the bedroom on the right of screen now, the big bedroom, has an ensuite because that is the master bedroom, and then there is a bathroom right next door, which is kind of, I guess, more like Iggy's bathroom. And then I think I do put a bathroom downstairs as well, because that's just good for gameplay. But you'll see here that I'm picking out some plants. I struggled with the landscaping for a little bit, trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I didn't know if I wanted it to be more structured or sort of like more loose and free-flowing. I was having like almost like an identity crisis with figuring out what Eliza would want, because I think that Bob would just do whatever Eliza would want in this one. So I was struggling a fair bit, but you'll see here that the flowers are predominantly red and pink. The pink does stay, but I do believe I change the red roses from Cottage Living to the light pink version when I change the color scheme, because I go for that more green and like soft brown sort of look, which I think just turned out a lot better, because I like the red, but I just felt like it was just a bit too harsh for what I was going for. So I do believe that I keep in most of the landscaping in this one, which is something I don't usually do. I usually cut out quite a fair bit, but once I figured it out, it did come together quite quickly, and I think that this sort of style suits Willow Creek the best as well. I was just trying to make it look like this house kind of belonged here as well. And when it comes to furnishing, I tried to keep it somewhat classical, because I feel like that's the vibe that they had before, and I just wanted it to be sort of really simple and sort of family friendly and inviting. So that's what I tried to do, but you guys will have to let me know what you think of this one. So yeah, here we are just picking out some things for the front porch. I do keep it really simple, just some chairs with like a little lemonade serving platter so they can have some drinks and sit out the front together if they like. I do enclose pretty much the entire backyard with hedges, and I struggled with this backyard quite a lot, so you will see it change. I did want to include like a sand pit and stuff like that for Iggy, but just the layout of it I wasn't happy with, and honestly I probably still not the happiest with the backyard. I think that's one of the things that I would do differently if I renovated this build again, is I would do the landscaping, I guess, a bit differently in the backyard, and just sort of add some more things. But I think this is definitely an improvement to what was here before, because before it was like a quite closed off small space and there wasn't really much out here. But out here we do get a barbecue, a table and chairs. I do end up with a toddler pool and a toddler slide for Iggy, and then on the back porch we get the flower arranging table, I believe, because I think that Eliza would be into that. So I do get that. I think I put that in like last minute too, so we do get that on the back porch, and I think I maybe put like an art easel as well. And I do apologize if you guys heard that. One of my cats just decided now is the perfect time to do zoomies, so if you hear any background noises, because I have one of them doing zoomies, and I'm currently actually sitting like on the edge of my seat because one of my other cats has decided that they're going to curl up on my chair right now. And I just don't have the heart to move him because he is a precious boy. So to apologize, they've just decided now is the time of day to be difficult. But yeah, you'll see me here trying to figure out how to lay out the backyard with the sandpit, and I think that I could have made it work if I had just spent a little bit more time, and it probably would have been a good idea to have this out here for Iggy because it just gives the toddler something more to do. But we do change it, and I get some planter pots out here instead because I'm pretty sure Bob is a chef, so I imagine that he would probably like to sort of grow his own like fruits and vegetables for cooking. So I originally have them on the left here, but again I do change the layout, so I do put them over onto the right and sort of make like a bigger space for like a garden. So you could definitely add some more planter pots out there if you wanted to, or even like the beehive and things like that, but I just didn't think it was necessary. But yeah, so you will see that change shortly. Here we are just working out the back porch. Again, if I did this renovation differently, if I did this renovation again, I would definitely do this differently here because it was like such a long sort of narrow space. I'd definitely make it probably a bit smaller and maybe add some of these things into the backyard, I guess. But I am happy with how it turned out, and here we go with the color scheme change. So you'll see that the roof stayed the same. I did keep the same brick. I just changed the sliding to green, and I think that it just made it look a little bit softer, and I just like it a lot more. So you guys will have to let me know what you think, which one you prefer. And yeah, so this is me changing all of the backyard. I just felt like if you're going to have a toddler, you'd probably want their play space to be closer to where you are. So if Bob and Eliza are out sitting on their little patio thing, having a barbecue, then they can keep an eye on Iggy as she's playing right next to them. So it just separates the sort of garden space from the family space, I guess. And I don't know, I'm really happy with how this sort of worked out. Again, not the best backyard I've ever done, but it is what it is. It'll do. So we do jump inside now and start working out the kitchen. I think the kitchen's the first thing that we move into, and I love the kitchen. So the kitchen's probably like one of my favorite spaces in the whole build. So I just really like how it all come together. I use base game counters, and I do believe that I changed the floor tile and the wall tile as well. So I think that the ones that I've chosen originally I do change, but I use my favorite fridge, and I use the Dream Home Decorator stove oven with the separate stovetop, and I'm pretty sure that works. So I think originally when they first came out that it didn't work, but I think it works now. So I basically go for like a soft brown and green color scheme throughout the house, and I struggle with it a little bit throughout like the dining and living space. So I do cut out some of that footage, I think, because again, I just struggled. But this kitchen come together quite quickly, and I think that it's like the perfect amount of classic like versus contemporary, like classic and contemporary mixed together. So I don't know, I just think that it suits Eliza really well. Even though Bob would probably spend the most time in here, I just think that Eliza would have the final say of how everything looks. So just adding in some curtains and some accents. I do also add in some pet bowls because I imagine that they would have a dog or a cat, but I think I've done a CAS renovation of Bob and Eliza before, and I gave them like a little Jack Russell. I think I named it Bacon Pancakes. And I thought that was quite funny and quite clever. So I just imagine them having like a little dog. And yeah, that's why I added that. But you'll see me now just cluttering up the kitchen. I picked out some items off camera, which is what I typically do because I honestly spend the longest time scrolling through the like clutter category and miscellaneous category, and you would think that I would know where everything is or what the names of items are so I could just type it in and look it up, but I am hopeless with remembering, and so I just spend hours upon hours looking through the menus for like the same items pretty much, because my kitchens I feel like are pretty much the same. I use the same things pretty much over and over again, and I don't think they're really that versatile. Like, I'm pretty set in my ways, so I had to cut out a fair chunk of footage. I do remember when I was editing this, just the amount of cuts I had to do because I just spent hours scrolling. It also didn't help that I was super indecisive with this whole entire interior. It just means that, yeah, I just had a lot of footage to cut out. So we are pretty much done with the kitchen here, just picking out some lights to go over the island bench. And again, I am really happy with how it turns out in here. I think that it's just a really warm and inviting sort of kitchen space, and I'm obsessed with it. And then we move on into the dining room. You will see that there's already a table and chairs in here. And I'm basically cutting to me picking a rug straight away because I spent the longest time not sure what I wanted to do in here. It is quite like an awkward space. It's kind of like really big for a dining room. And again, if I renovated this house again, I probably would try and make their dining room space a little bit smaller, but I imagine Eliza probably would like to have like a formal dining space. So I do believe these chairs are from Parenthood. I think they're from Parenthood. I cannot remember now. It's been so long since I built this, so I think they're from Parenthood. I really like the kind of like soft green that was on them. I wanted to find ones that had more of like a warm toned wood, but I think these ones turned out okay, and I tried to include some more warm tones by adding in the big photo frame and the sort of accent table. And then with this space here, I didn't really know what to do, but I decided to make it kind of like, I guess like a little reading nook. So I get a bookcase. I think this is the Parenthood one as well. Yes, this is a Parenthood bookcase. So I use that, and then use the sectional sofas in just the, I don't know, the one that doesn't have a back. I don't know what you would call that. An ottoman? I guess it's an ottoman. So use it in the ottoman 3 times along the wall, and then we do just get a plant, a mirror, a little chair, and a lamp. And I do believe I swapped this one out for a base game one, which I think, base game one or the cats and dogs one? I'm not sure which one that is. I think that might be the cats and dogs one. But wall sconces, I love wall sconces. I think they're a great way to fill out space, so I use them quite a lot in this build, and also like every other build. But here I am just cluttering up this little side table with some just some random items, really, just a lot of things that come in green. I use obviously a lot of the cottage living stuff because it's one of my favorite packs, and I just can't help it. I think those little jars, or is that the country kitchen kit? I'm not sure which one that comes from, but I always use them. I think they're really versatile and they work in like all kinds of builds. So I definitely recommend that kit, even though I'm not the biggest fan of the kits. That's probably one that I do like. So this is the entryway. It's a pretty simple entryway. There's not a lot going on in here. I think I just get some art on the wall, some wall sconces, a little mat at the door, and a little plant. It just was a very small space, and I didn't want to overcrowd it. This here is the living room. This is such an awkward space, and I do cut out some footage because I originally put like a bookcase along one wall and I clutter it up and I thought it looked really nice, and then I decided to just like tone it back because it was just looking a bit much. So I do change that for like a little play space. But you'll see me here picking out these couches. I think these are the ones that come from the Desert Luxe kit, which I really like these couches. They're probably my favorite couches that we have in game currently. So I use those, and the curtains as well that I'm using also come from that kit as well. So for someone who says they don't like kits, I tend to use them quite a lot, but I just don't like the idea of having to spend like $5 to $7 for like 20-30 items. I just don't think it's obtainable for everyone. So yeah, I don't know, but I personally buy like every pack that comes out because like I'm a collector and I love building, so the more items I have, the more I can build. But I understand that not everybody can do that, so I do plan on doing a lot more sort of like pack restricted and like base game builds this year, because yeah, I just think that it's just more inclusive, and I'm trying to be as inclusive as possible. So if you guys have any ideas for sort of like pack combos that you would like me to do, let me know, and I will try and do them for you. But here we are, just adding a little bookcase in here. You'll see there was some footage cut out for sure, and as I said, that was just because I added some things in there that I wasn't happy with. So we get a little play space downstairs for Iggy, and then this here is the bathroom and laundry room. I do remember now. I do get laundry in here. I get a washer and a dryer. There's also a sink, a toilet, a shower. So it is a full bath plus laundry. So if you don't like laundry or you don't have laundry day, you can just get rid of the washer and dryer. I was just trying to fill up the space because it is quite like a big bathroom, and I didn't want to do like a half bath down here because it just would have been really empty. So I am happy with how it turns out. It's nice and soft, and I use the same counters that I used in the kitchen. Just get a couple of clutter items on the counters here, and I'm so excited because I didn't have it in game when I built this, obviously, but we do have that new bathroom clutter kit again with the kids. I say I don't like them, but here I am talking about them. I'm actually yet to download that one, but I am going to be doing that today, and I'm actually excited to have some new items in the bathrooms, because I feel like bathrooms are just really boring. Like, you can actually see as I'm spinning the camera around here that I did do the other bathrooms off camera, just because they were just repetitive. They're just the exact same, and I felt like once you've seen one bathroom, you don't need to see all the others. But here we are doing the entryway. It is a pretty simple space, and then this room over here was kind of a struggle. Like, I knew I wanted it to be like a study space, but it was a bit of a struggle working out how I wanted it to be laid out. So we get a computer in here, we get another art easel in here, and we also get a chess table. So it's kind of like a skill building room. So if you did want to download this house for a different family other than the Pancakes, which obviously you can, this would be that room where you kind of put all of like the random things that you need for like the random jobs and things like that that your Sims might have. So I just placed some standard items in here. There's also a wardrobe as well, just to kind of fill in the space. So yeah, but some exciting news dropped today with The Sims. We finally got a date for the infant update. So March 14th, we will have infants in game, which I'm so excited for. You guys will probably already know about that by the time this video goes up, because I am kind of slightly pre-recording. My daughter went back to school today for her first full day, so I'm trying to get as many voiceovers done as possible so I can get ahead of schedule. I don't think I've actually announced it on my YouTube channel, but I have over on my Instagram. But I am pregnant with my second child. I'm currently 26 weeks, so I still got some time to go, but things happen, and some days I just don't have the energy to do anything. So in the times when I do, I'm trying to get as much done because I'd like to be more consistent this year with my upload schedule. So yeah, I'm just trying to pre-record a little bit, but super excited for the infant update and also super excited for the next expansion pack. There was a leak today, and I'm not sure of the like authenticity of the leak, but I think tomorrow we get more information about that. So super excited for that. It looks like it is going to be like a generation style expansion pack, and I love family gameplay. It's like the only thing that I do basically. So I am super excited for that because more family gameplay is great for me. So, but anyway, I did just talk over Iggy's bedroom. It's just a kid's bedroom. It's a toddler's bedroom and it's pink. And this room here is more of her playroom. I imagine Eliza would be the type of mum that would have like a playroom for her daughter. So I kept a lot of the toys out of the bedroom because I knew I wanted to do this room. So that's the reason why Iggy's room's kind of like a little bit more simply decorated and a little bit more plain. And I think that kind of works for as she grows up as well. Or if, you know, Bob and Eliza were to have more kids, they would have this room here. So, or if you do download it for another family, you can fit more kids in here. But the last room that we do is Bob and Eliza's, and I love this room. I normally don't like my master bedrooms because, again, I feel like they're the same as bathrooms. They're just kind of like the same items over and over again, and like this one isn't particularly special. There's no there's nothing that really makes it stand out. I just like the way that it come together. I do believe I get another wardrobe in here as well to kind of fill in the space, and I do change out the bed. I kind of changed my mind quite a lot, as I said, throughout this build. I just, was very indecisive, but overall I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I hope you guys like it too. If you do want to download it, you can from the gallery. My gallery ID is at arcadefox. Make sure you guys also follow me over on Instagram for build updates and for just general updates. My Instagram is at arcadefox with an underscore at the end. We are going to be moving into screenshots very shortly, so I'm going to wrap up today's voiceover. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you haven't already, make sure you do subscribe to my channel. Give this video a big thumbs up if you like it. It really does help me out. And I will see you guys all in the next one. Bye guys.